on that stage. And there is no one who is better prepared to provide America with the strong leadership that it needs, both at home and around the world, than Donald Trump.
Fascinating and consequential development here in the race for president on the Republican side. Chris Christie, who for a long time looked like he was going to be the outsider, looked like he was going to be the tough guy to come into this race, and was basically just blown out of the water by Donald Trump, now endorsing him. We have an all-star panel of insiders from here in Arkansas to talk about this. Drew Petrimoulx is a political reporter for Little Rock's NBC affiliate. He also hosts Arkansas's Capitol View on Sunday mornings. Joyce Elliott, an Arkansas state senator and vice chair of the state Democratic Party. Rex Nelson is a former policy and communications director for former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, and we just saw that his daughter is on board. Let me just get your reaction to what we saw right now.
Well, I mean, this Republican race gets more amazing by the day, Chris. I mean, it seems like new developments every hour. Obviously, we're sitting here in Arkansas, and when Mike Huckabee was in the race, we didn't think we would see any other candidates. We're going to see the top three all this weekend. Every state certainly matters at this point.
Without a doubt. And Drew, is this a game changer? There are people who were saying last night with Cruz and especially Rubio going so hard against Donald Trump that was going to be a turning point. Maybe they finally had something to go at Trump with. Maybe it was going to cut into his lead, which is really across most of the Super Tuesday states. What do you make of this endorsement?
Well, you know, Chris Christie is someone that's familiar to Arkansans, not just through the national campaign for president. He came here in 2014, campaigned for now Governor Asa Hutchinson. He's somebody that is familiar to Arkansans. Also, in the state, Donald Trump suffers at kind of an endorsement deficit. Both Rubio and Ted Cruz have racked up endorsements from state legislators. Donald Trump has none. So it'll be interesting to see with this Chris Christie endorsement if that leads to others in the state legislature, other political, both current and former leaders in Arkansas, maybe join in that train of endorsements.
I'm curious what you think about the timing of this, and I wasn't able to get a good answer either from our reporter on the scene or from Sarah Hutchison, but suddenly, after he has what, by most accounts, was not the best night of his debate career, he makes this announcement. Was it something that they did? And if they did, is it just another sign that Donald Trump, with no political experience, has killer political instincts?
Well, but I thought it was a great PR move, actually, because that's what a salesperson does. You think ahead, and what can I do? Because I watched the debate last night, and I thought, oh, tomorrow the news is going to be all about Rubio and Cruz. And what does Donald Trump do? Once again, he trumps the whole thing by getting this endorsement, and so now we're talking about Donald Trump. So I thought it was a brilliant move. And I think sometimes in politics we are so scripted that we don't think about things in an organic fashion. I think it's a demonstration of his ability to be very organic and not let somebody else get the upper hand when he has a way to do that.
So as a Democrat, does it give you pause, especially since one of the sort of hits on Hillary Clinton has been that she's not very nimble?
Well, one of the things it does do, it doesn't give me pause, but it's constant information and a constant way to think about strategy if indeed Donald Trump is the nominee, because we know it's not going to be politics as usual. So if whoever is our candidate cannot assume they can do politics as usual if Donald Trump is a nominee. So what it says to me is stay on your toes.
So Rex, what does this mean if you're inside Marco Rubio's campaign? You were high-fiving last night, maybe pouring some beers or some champagne. You're getting up this morning thinking this is the first day of the rest of the campaign. What do you do now?
Here's what we've got to remember. Donald Trump may be a first-time presidential candidate, but he's been promoting himself for decades. He is the master at self-promotion, and this timing today with the Christie endorsement, again, as you just said, is another example of that. The guy does have good instincts. He is an incredible self-promoter, and that was more of that we saw down in Texas just a few minutes ago.
So we have some new reaction from the Rubio campaign. Gabe Gutierrez is with them. He's on the phone for us. Gabe, what did you find out?
Hey there, Chris. Well, the rally for Senator Rubio is about to start here in Oklahoma City. The campaign, they were in the air when this news first came out. They were heading from Dallas to Oklahoma City. We're just now hearing from a senior advisor, Todd Harris, And he's saying that he's not surprised Trump had to bring in Christie because he's, quote, articulate, and Trump is not. Harris says that Trump can't put together a coherent noun and verb to explain policies, so he had to bring in Christie. But Chris, this was a day that was supposed to belong to Marco Rubio. He had all the headlines coming off of that strong debate performance last night. Donald Trump, as you've been mentioning, knew how he knows how to win a news cycle, and he brought in Chris Christie at an opportune time. And the thing with Chris Christie, it also harkens back to that disappointing debate performance that Rubio had several weeks ago. So not only was it an endorsement on a day when Rubio had a string of headlines going his way, it also reminds everyone of that disappointing time in the Rubio campaign that he had been trying to bounce back from. So certainly a devastating year for the Rubio campaign. We're expecting him to speak to reporters just in the next hour or so. We'll see exactly what he says, but he had been hitting Trump very hard throughout the morning. Seemed to be having fun at his morning rally. We'll see how he responds here to the stunning news of the Christie endorsement.
Gabe, thank you so much. Chris Christie went straight from that announcement to this big rally for Donald Trump. Let's listen.
And here's what we don't need. We don't need another Washington politician in the White House, do we? Do we need a first-term United States senator in the White House? Do we need a United States senator from Florida who doesn't show up for work? Let me tell something to Marco Rubio. President of the United States is not a no-show job like you treated the United States Senate. Simple fact is this. America wants strong, tough leadership. America's tired of being walked on. America is tired of being treated second class around the world. We need a first-class president, and we're going to have it in